So, Dominic, shall we go live?
Yeah. Hey, Greg, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself? You good?
I'm doing well, doing well. So let's wait a bit here, make sure everybody joins.
Okay. While people are joining, we could basically ask everyone to.
Yeah,
Uh,
if everybody could maybe just let us know where they're joining from. Um, yeah, myself, I'm joining from Prague. How about yourself, Greg?
yeah, I'm joining from Zurich, Switzerland.
Good, yeah. So go ahead and just write everybody where you're coming from, and soon we'll get this started.
Okay.
Okay, see someone from Argentina. Welcome, welcome. From Turkey. Okay, let's give it about 15, 30 more seconds, and then we can start.
Yeah, while people are dropping where they are joining from, maybe Dominic, we can just go ahead and walk through the agenda, right?
Yeah, let's do a little introduction first before we hop into that.
Okay.
So, my name is Dominic. I'm an IT consultant. I've been in the IT sector for about 8 years now. Yeah, across many various fields in IT. Yeah, and I'm working here with KompiTech to present you this new product. How about yourself, Greg?
Yeah, Greg Iran, that's my name. I'm the founder of KompiTech.AI. My experience spans around 25 years helping companies in different industries. Uh, First, I was just a normal IT manager in different countries, in different companies. And for the last 15 years, I've been running KompiTech, providing IT services to companies, small, mid-size, and large, across different continents: Europe, Asia, the US, Africa. So, yeah, that's basically my experience working with companies.
Cool, cool. Thanks, Greg. Okay, so let's take a look at our agenda for today. We have an hour-long session. Yeah, we did our introduction, and we're actually gonna be going over automated onboarding and offboarding using the KompiTech AI product. So we will do a live demo for everybody in this call, so you can see how it works. Yeah, we can go through some details, see kind of the beauty of the functionality. Um, then we will do a Q&A session after that where you can ask some questions about the product. Yeah, anything you need to know. Yeah, you can just go ahead and you can send those in write those in the chat whenever, and we will come back to them at the session. And then we will be taking a look at, or at least we will be displaying how you guys can sign up. Yeah, how you can use the product, get ready to get started with KompiTech AI. Yeah, and yeah, get yourself onboarded with it and see what you can do. And then at the end, of course, we will provide some closing information, context, how you can reach out to us on what platforms, and yeah, how you can stay engaged. Okay, so Greg, maybe you can start off just with the why automated onboarding matters. Yeah, what the product offers and what you're trying to do with this, kind of what the magic is here.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we work with different companies, small, mid-size, and large enterprise. They they are large companies. They have basically their IT processes all sorted. I would say majority of the enterprise. Then you have the mid-sized companies and the small companies where they still go through manual onboarding of users. When a new employee is starting, you have to HR have to send the new employee details to IT, and IT have to manually create the user in Microsoft 365 or on Google Workspace or whatever identity system that you're using to manage your infrastructure. And then, yeah, once those details are created, they send information manually back to the HR or to the manager of the new employee. That is really manual. Sometimes it could take maybe a couple of hours or days for this information to get back. I've been in some companies where the manager, they have the employee starting, the employees on their desk, and not all the information is ready, right? It's like, okay, they don't have access to SAP, they don't have access to to whatever solution they are using, right, in their tech stack, and that you can basically move ahead with that and automate the entire workflow. So this is why we are tackling that as part of the KompiTech AI solution. How you can basically reduce that hours of onboarding process, or what would normally take days, how you could reduce it to like 1 minute. This is what we focus on and what we want to demonstrate in this webinar.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Greg. And yeah, it just simplifies it. Just to add on to what Greg was saying. Yeah. Often these employees will also start. They won't get the relevant information on their account, right? Their password, all of this. All of that can be automated within this solution, right? We can get the users all their information that they need for their onboarding. It can even be done by people who aren't in HR. If it's a smaller business, you could have a manager do this because it's so simple, right? They don't need to have dedicated people to take care of it. Three different communication chains between different departments. It's all simplified in this one solution from this one interface. So yeah, maybe you can go ahead and we can start the demo. So if you could bring up the console and let's take a look.
Yeah, so let me dive in quickly. Let me know once you can see my screen.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to just collapse that quickly. This is the KompiTech AI interface. The interface which I have now is more on the IT, the admin interface part of it, where you have the sidebar with. I will go through that later, but let's just focus on the topic of the day, which is onboarding. So imagine a new employee starting, and the employee name is Aaron, and the manager can basically go into this interface and do that themselves. Again, it depends on the workflow or the sort of processes that you have in your organization. Some people are in the HR, they prefer to complete a form, or you've got your HR system. I will show you all those process later, how you can do the integration. But let me just quickly start to show you how a normal manager can just onboard their new employee. So let's imagine the employee name is Aaron, as I've mentioned earlier, Aaron Ruben. Uh, I'm going to just write in here, create a
And
username. Sorry,
and
go ahead.
real quick, Greg. Maybe we can also show the users in the current administration panel on Azure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So you see this user that I'm creating now, it's Aaron Ruben, right? So we just quickly go to our Office 365, Microsoft 365, sorry. You see the user is not there. I'm going to
Mhm.
refresh the screen again just to make sure that you can see it real. The user is definitely not there, right? Let us reload. The user is not there, so let me go ahead and create a user, right? So this is the user, Aaron Ruben at KompiTech.com. and then I'm just going to hit the uh, enter button. And now this is done by just a plain language, right? So if you can read that, it basically comes back like a perfect. Let me zoom back in. Perfect. I can see this workflow. I'm going to ask it not to use a specific workflow, right? Because it's trying to use a workflow that we have already. I would say don't use existing workflow. Uh, Proceed and don't use existing workflow. I just keep it that way. Okay. Uh, because I will show you why you wanted to use that specific workflow. So it should just pick from the tools that we have integrated with Microsoft 365. And once it goes ahead, identify the tools, there you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So perfect. Now I have the tools I need. And the beauty is it automatically also identify the user, first name and last name, right? So it separates that, and I'm just going to ask it to proceed. So why does that in the background? You, you will normally send this information to the IT department, right? For the IT department to create a user for you. But in this case, you are just creating it yourself, and the system is going to detect the licenses you have. There you go, right? You got a user created.
Exactly. And I really want to also emphasize, if you go to that original prompt, how Greg stated it, this is natural language, right? So
Yeah,
this is somebody doesn't need to be experienced in the systems. They just write what they need, as we did it, as Greg did at the beginning, and it grabs the necessary fields, right? It identifies which ones to use for the actual creation process with the integration, and it gets it done. So yeah, so this is makes it so much simpler for people who aren't technical, right? Who want to get
yeah,
this stuff done. So it's kind of all in one package, which is I
yeah,
think really important to note.
yeah. So yeah, what is the next process when a user has been created in Microsoft 365? You want to probably assign the user to a group, or let's just say you want to send the credentials of the user to the manager, all right? So right still in that interface, you can ask the KompiTech.AI to just send that information to the manager. Let's imagine the manager email address is marlo@kompitech.com. I'm just going to add that information here. I'm going to say send the credentials to marlo@kompitech.com. And
Yep.
because sorry, Dominic, you
No,
want?
sorry, don't want to interrupt. But in the meantime, also we can take a look in the admin panel and we can check if the user was created.
Oh, yeah, that's a valid point. Okay, so let's go back. So let me just refresh.
There we go. And look at how simple that was, right?
Yeah, 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 that's the beauty, right? So yeah, let's go back over here. Let's send the email to the manager model, and if I'm gonna ask my mailbox uh, to just give me the sent email, I can also basically ask it to show me the last email that was sent, right? Uh, to validate if that email was actually sent, right? Show me the last email that was sent. I'm not going to specify from my center terms. I'm just going to keep it simple and let the AI figure out, right, where it should grab that information from, right? It's going to go straight to my mailbox now and find the last email that was sent, and it's going to display that to me. So while it does that in the background, I'm going to go to that manager's mailbox. There you go, right? That is the email that was sent, and it contains all the information, all right?
Yeah, and look at how simple that is. Have the email, have the password, and they can send it off right away to the employee or to the IT department that will help them with setup,
Yeah,
right? I mean, yeah, and let's go back to that chat and see if it's done with the last email. There
yeah,
you go, right? And so you don't even have to open the Outlook client, and you can get your outbox information.
yeah. Gives me exactly the information from my center times. Display that to me here, and and the next thing I can do, right? I could, sometimes when uh, you probably want to save the information somewhere in a document or wherever. You could proceed to create a document from the credentials that were created, right? You could either create it in SharePoint or you can create it in Google Docs. In this case, I'm gonna say, okay, just create a Google Doc with a credential information, and I'm gonna hit enter, and
Yeah, and then you can use something like this, right, for storing, if you have many employees that you're onboarding or a few, you can then have these documents created, which you can then store in some directory and have a list of everything, right? So you have it organized. And again, you just have it created from within this one tool. So,
yeah, yeah, that's correct. Maybe HR wanna probably send this information to to the new employee before they start. They can use this approach as well.
hmm
So this is the Google Doc that was created. I'm just going to copy the link, and I'm going to open it over here. And then I think I copied I think I copied a different link. And,
it's like two of them. Yeah, so
yeah,
doubled up, doubled up.
yeah, that's right. So, there you go.
Look at
So
that. Nice.
that's it, right? So what I've done now, we spent a couple of minutes doing that, right? If you were to do that manually, you have to log in here, log in there. Uh, I think that's gonna take, and then you send the information to the IT. But with this, IT can still focus on doing, their job, but offloading this sort of manual process to the user, and then expedite the onboarding process, right? So that IT can be maybe 20 times more productive, or 40 times. I use it myself. Our team, they use it as well. And we see the potentials of this is like you just increasing your productivity, and you don't necessarily need to be logging into your different system. All what you need to do is to integrate your system, and then you can start communicating via your normal language. You can communicate in English, you can communicate in Spanish, in German, whichever language the AI will understand that and get it task done for you.
Cool. Thanks for showing that. And this was in Microsoft. What if, for example, certain businesses, or small businesses, especially maybe they'll want to be using something like Google Workspaces, right, which is easy for them to set up. So would it be possible also to, create a user and do this similar process in something like Google Workspace or in a different, identity access management tool?
Yeah, that is also possible, Dominic. But before I move to that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and delete that user for security purposes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to delete the user, the same user. Yeah, if I go back, that user is there. Once it's deleted, I think we can also verify if that user was actually deleted. It's asking me if I really want to delete the user. Oh yes, delete the user. Uh, so uh, yeah, it will be deleted, and it will also release the license once it's deleted. Uh, but if you want to just disable the user, you can also do that, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's deleted the user. I get
Yeah, and
you.
something like this definitely, as you can go ahead and refresh, but something like this, people you definitely need an IT department or dedicated person who knows how to go through this, right, and not cause some problems in the system.
Yeah,
They could click something wrong, they could do something with the wrong user account, right? They could, maybe delete it, but the license still retains somehow. So I mean, we can see right here again. Anybody in the business can use this. Delete the user if it's a one-man team, 10-man team, right? And they need to be quick with it. They need to expedite it. They can do it just like this. And I mean, yeah, really quite fast from when you wrote it to when the actual entire process was finished, along with the logs, right?
yeah, yeah. That's correct. So yeah, that user has been deleted, gone. So
Nice.
someone one was trying to use that user, and you can't anymore. Uh, yeah, we can move to the Google Workspace uh, as the next. So imagine. Uh, I'm not really sure that there are platforms out there where you can manage your Google Workspace and your Microsoft 365, manage the users in one place, right? Like when you're trying to create a user on Microsoft 365, because some companies they need to use Microsoft 365 the same time they need also Google Workspace, right?
Mhm.
For some reason. And if you are that type of company, you you currently will manually have to create that on Microsoft 365 and then manually go to Google Workspace as well. But with this, you integrate everything in one, right? And then you can create a users on just like that. So let me just go ahead and create the same user on Google Workspace. And just as some advice, I will recommend that when you have what we call a chat session on the side, I would recommend that when you starting a new workflow, you need to create a new chat. Sometimes it's better not to get the AI confused, right? Create a new chat is just like properly, you
It's
know,
also good practice for like history, right? If you want to go through and see what you did, it also separates it for you so you can see what you did and how you did it, right? So you don't confuse yourself with your own processes. That's good advice.
yeah, yeah, organizing your things
Mm-hmm.
in a way. So yeah, I'm going to create a user as well. This time, I'm asking you to create it on Google Workspace, and you should use this default password.
And
Uh,
let's check that the user doesn't exist as well, so we
oh
can
yeah,
make
that's a valid
sure.
one. So just give me a minute. Do. Where's my Google Workspace? Uh, yeah, I need to log in quickly. Just give me a minute.
And in the meantime, if you have some questions about this so far, what you've seen, go ahead and write it in the chat,
Yeah.
and we will get back to that.
Okay. So yeah, let's it here, the Google Workspace, and I'm gonna bring it back to the screen again. Here we go. Just give me a minute. Mm, mm, now, yeah, mm, yeah, there we go. It's gonna ask me to authenticate. Now, while that is going on, right? I will just start creating the user. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, to make sure that keep we don't start the time. Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, so let me just bring the Google Workspace over here again. All right, so there was a user there. I'm going to let this user there, right, which we used earlier for a test. So mm, I can possibly delete it as well, right? But then let me just go here. I'm going to create a different user, okay? Let's I'll change the user details to Abram, right? For instance. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So Abram, as you can see, Abram is not there. It's just only Aaron, right? So let me go ahead and create Abram, and yeah, I can see that Abram is not there. So we just ask you to proceed.
And again, same way as for the Microsoft, it pulls all the relevant information right from the natural language. So again, it's a completely different system, right? Completely different tooling, but it's able to get exactly what is needed for the creation as well.
Yeah, that's correct. So while it does that, yeah, that is done, right? So we have the user. I'm just going to refresh the screen again. There you go, Abram, right?
There he is.
So what else do you want me to do to delete the user as
Yeah, go
well?
ahead and delete it as well, so we can show the full process in both these systems.
Okay, so I'm just going to copy that user. Right, delete user. In this case, I'm also going to specify Google Workspace as well, right? Uh, because it's using my default workspace as Microsoft 365. Hit enter, and it's gonna process that in the background, and afterwards we can also see that the user is gone. Right. The tool needed. Yeah, you wanna go ahead, proceed, delete it. So it will be gone. All right. So I mean, in this case, we can discuss the other topics around how the automation basically works, but let me just go ahead and reload the screen. So Abron is gone from here as well.
Nice, nice. Yeah, as you were saying, it'd be nice to know, how it's possible, what tools are at play here, or what the integrations are doing, or how is it set up in the solution so that we can actually do this in the chat console. Is that something you could walk us through?
Yeah, so I will start from as an admin, you will have access to this interface, and let me just go to integrations. All right, so this is the integrations that we have here. And notice something here. We have on the right side the AI assist. So even though you are not technical, you don't know how to handle these integrations here,
Hmm.
just ask the AI here, and it's going to help you get integrations done, right? So we have around 268 integrations already. Let me just collapse that as well. And those integrations that we have for any business, you can go ahead and just connect your integration. There's WhatsApp for business, there's Slack, etc. Let's just focus on the Microsoft and the Google Workspace that we did now, right? So if I go to Google Workspace, there are these tools out there which are AI tools. These are the tools that are basically executing the task in the background. You have multiple tools, a tool that can create events, delete events, list calendar. In general, is basically everything that you can do on Google Workspace. You can do all of those through this chat interface. So if I'm going to, for instance, delete a user, if I was an admin, I will probably look for that delete user. Yeah, this is the tool I will use for deleting a user. You have some sort of JSON interface in the background, which execute majority of the task for you. If I enter the same user information here, for instance, I can go ahead and pick that user, for instance, and I try to delete it directly from here. And if I hit execute, it does that as well, right?
Hmm.
You see, it's exactly the same thing, but
And so this is something just the administrators can only see, right?
yeah, that
And
is
so
it.
someone who actually knows these technical systems, they can actually go in here and kind of have more direct access to what they need,
Yeah,
and then use these tools. Okay.
that's right. So let's look. Let's see if that user is there, still there. So it's gone,
Mm.
right? So yeah, those are the tools you can use. And if you, as I said, there are multiple things that you can get done once you've integrated your Google Workspace. What you basic, if I go back to, Microsoft Graph, for instance, there we go. It's exactly the same thing. Microsoft Graph, you have 127 tools, and the tools that can basically do everything that a user will do in the Outlook or in SharePoint, wherever, right? You can create documents. You can, if you have like 10 documents in one folder in SharePoint, you can come over here, you can ask it that question, just copy the the link from SharePoint and paste it over here and ask it, can you help me understand this the entire document in this folder? It can be 10, 20, whatever documents. Our AI is going to read through those documents quickly and it's going to give you a quick overview. You can edit the document from here. You can even attach it as an email attachment and send it to whoever directly from here. You don't necessarily need to go to SharePoint or Google Workspace or your Salesforce, wherever to be doing any of those things. If you have a CRM system, just connect it. If you've got accounting system, connect it. So create quotes. You can do everything by just going over here to the integrations, look for your integration that is right for your company, and just integrate it, and you basically be set to start automating your workflows.
Cool. And if I could ask, you took a look at the specific tools for the specific integrations, but
Yeah.
what if you want to, what if you want to use multiple tools, right? If you have some natural language, you're typing and say, hey, do this and this, or you want to have you want to have something already prepared, right? I mean, if somebody is doing some onboarding, offboarding, they're
Mhm.
basically going to they want to have a process that's set, that's going to be the same each time, and that's not going to differ, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
How would they be able to maybe combine those tools to create a process that they can use repeatedly, that they can use across the organization for multiple people who are administrators? How would they be able to combine those tools or create yeah, how would you do that? Is that possible?
Oh yeah. So let me think of how that will actually work. So you mean what I was doing was prompting the AI and then going through step by step, right?
Right.
And this one, it will just be easier. You ask it to create a user. You just go ahead and create a user, select the license. It doesn't need to ask me multiple questions.
Right. You don't have to say proceed. It will do that all at once. Right.
Yeah. Say for instance, if it needs to create a user in Salesforce or in Aruba or in
Mm.
HubSpot or whichever applications, right? So yeah, got your question. What you will do in that case, we have this workflows where you can create your custom workflow, right? So you go here, you go to the builder. This is the AI builder part of it. You describe exactly what you need to do over here, and then you click on generate, right? If you click on this other manual build, you can take the tools over here to for your workflows, how you what should happen before what it can happen sequentially or in parallel as well. So take for instance what we just did now. I will do the same. I will create a new user and assign a basic business basic license. Okay, so probably makes sense to say create a new user in Google Workspace. Let's not no, let's use 365 since Google Workspace they don't have this licensing thing in that sense. Uh, Microsoft, Microsoft 365, Microsoft 365, and assign a business basic license. Then I could also say send the email
Mm.
wherever, but let's leave that for now. And now, if I hit generate, the AI is automatically going to generate the steps for me, right? Since imagine I'm not technical and I just want it, yeah, there you go, right? It's generated the step for me. I just said create a Microsoft 365, then automatically it knows like, oh, I need to use Microsoft Graph, I need to use this tool, this and this other tool. And if I click apply to the canvas, see what is done, created those stages, right?
Mm. Okay,
So
so it has those different tools as part of that integration, but in this one workflow. So now when you actually ask it to do this process, it will use this, right? Instead of just one specific tool that you have to, ask over and over, or you have to specifically prompt for.
yeah, so it selects the tool automatically, it's added it to the steps. If I click on the first tool, for instance, that is the tool to create the user in Microsoft 365. As I said earlier, you could have it to run sequentially or in parallel to these other steps, right? To assign a license, but again, you cannot assign a license before creating a user, right? Microsoft will not allow you to do that. Uh, so yeah, if you then want to manually uh, add more steps, say for instance, let me think, create. Let me look for a different tool. Create an email or
Mm.
whatever. Create a contact. You can look for your tools here, and just maybe drag and drop into this stage, right? Then you have stage 4, and once you're done, save it. So I'm gonna save it quickly, and there is my workflow. And on this workflow, if I execute the workflow, this is what happens, right? This is just for you to see the details of the workflow, and you can also schedule this workflow to run on a specific day or time, or it can run in different recurrence, right?
Mm.
It can run every day, so you don't you don't really need to create users every day. But if you're in a company where you need to delete a user on a specific date, and after they leave, right? You could also automate that, or if you have other things that you need to do where you need to schedule and create a recurrence, you can use this functionality for doing that. Yeah, so that is it. Does that answer your question, Dominic?
Yeah, it looks really good. It's really good, really smooth process there. So that also, adds on to the level of complexity, but that is still so simple for the actual user using it, right? So now administrators can go into this, they can customize it how they want, they can create what they want, but then still they can have it. Then someone who in the business who doesn't know how to do this can use that workflow, right, to
Yeah,
then perform the steps that they need.
exactly. So
So it's really powerful.
if I reload my screen now, you see that workflow is there.
Mm,
Right, so I can just hit that, create that. If I hit on that, then it automatically will
right.
just take it from there.
Good. Good. Okay. Yeah, I think that was good time for the demo. We also have this Q&A session, but at the moment I'm not seeing too many questions popping up in the chat. So if anybody, has any questions about what we just demoed, anything about the tools or the workflows or the UI, the solution as a whole, feel free to ask. We can give it maybe a little bit of time to see if we have some questions, and then we will move on to the how to sign up.
Okay, yeah, while people are asking their questions, which we could answer later, let me just walk everyone through on how to sign up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's to sign up, you go to KompiTech.AI, and you can start a free trial. We provide a 15-day free trial. You can also contact us directly using the contact sales form as well. So, I mean, if I will click on start a free trial because I'm already logged in, so it's going to automatically. Let's see, maybe let me try to use incognito quickly. Yeah, just computer.ai. I'm going to share a different screen for now. Just give me a minute. Okay. Uh, sent. I'm gonna add another screen over here. Okay. Share screen. Window. Which one is now? Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Let's see. Can you see the
Okay,
screen?
I can see.
Right. So to this is our website for the platform. If you're on the website, of course, you can first of all go down to the pricing section to understand our pricing. We have a free the free tier where you can, you know, take it for a ride and see what are the features, what you can do with it. And if you are then happy with the solution, you can go ahead and go for one of the premium tiers, starter or professional. And then for the enterprise, if you want to integrate any custom uh, platforms which are not part of the existing integrations yet, then you can go ahead and contact us using this contact form over here. So to sign up is basically take one of those tiers and click on start a free trial. You can use either a Google Workspace account or use your existing Microsoft account. Once you click, Any one of those, you you enter your credentials, and then you basically will land on the platform. It's so straightforward. It's for free, as I said, for the first 15 days, and then when you find any value in it, you can of course go to the premium tiers. And if you also want any support initially, you need help, feel free to contact us using the contact sales form, and we will definitely work with you to understand the platform. We can have a one-to-one session with you as well, so that you understand the real value of the platform. Because our goal is, as we see how the how our productivity have actually increased in our company. Our goal is also to show other companies, how they can improve their productivity. It's not a rocket science. It's basically integrating the different platforms that you use in your company, and you can see how using your natural language to do the manual task that you're doing now, uh, and just prompting the AI, getting the task done for you. There might be some sort of learning curve as well, and that's why you can count on our expertise in KompiTech.AI, where we will give you a contact person that will help your team, your company to understand how to really use AI and help your company move forward. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us whenever you can if you need some help, and we will be here to help you out.
Cool. 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 Okay, so yeah, I think that's clear. We can take a look at some questions here before we finish up and have some closing statements that maybe you can have an answer. So let's see, here's one from Fardeen. Can onboarding workflows integrate with existing HR and IT systems without disrupting them?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we have multiple integrations already. If you have an HR system that is not currently integrated, just request an integration. It will generally take us like 1 week to 2 weeks to get the integration ready for you, and and then you can get it going. We will help you as well with automating the workflows, making sure you understand how the tools work, testing it out. And once you are ready to go live with the workflow, you can go out live. So I would not say there is any HR system there that we cannot integrate with. If there is any, and it is not currently in the list of the platforms that we have integrated, you know, just let us know. We will get that done for you.
Good. We have another one here from Tofik. How can IT avoid over provisioning or under provisioning access during onboarding?
Well, that's a tricky one, right? You
I
don't
mean, I
want.
think also we can say, as we saw in the, with the natural language with the prompts, and at least for creating the accounts, right, in Microsoft and Google Workspace, you can specify, right, what license, for example, they get, right? You can then specify what organizational unit they will go in, right, which group. So I think that's one way, at least from my point of view. What do you think?
Yeah, it's also a question of what it meant with over provisioning or
Right,
under
which
provision.
what systems, right, and what access exactly?
Yeah, and feel free that to reach out to us if you want to if we don't answer your questions straight away. But in what I would say over, if you don't want to do overkill, probably I don't know, uh, just just do what you think are currently taking your people a lot of time. What normally take days to get done, if you can get it done within one minute, then that is the huge added value. And if that works for you, go ahead with that. I don't see any reason why you should be spending days getting tasks done that will normally take you now 1 minute, right?
Right. And
Yeah,
you also will test it in the system, right? It's not like it's set in stone right away. You get to play with it, right? See what works. And then once you have it tested within, it'll take you what, maybe an hour max to get it to the point where you need it to be, and then you have it ready to go.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I see one last question here from someone. What happens if onboarding steps change? Can workflows be updated without technical complexity?
Yeah, as I've shown earlier, you go to the workflow management, you can remove any of the steps, update it, do whatever you think is necessary, and then push it back live.
And it's
It's,
not even that, it says, it mentions technical complexity. It's also not so technically complex, right? Because it shows you what the tool does. You
yeah,
see very easily how to, edit it, drag and drop, or remove it in sequence. So yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So that's it for the questions here. Um, we can maybe go through some closing information. If you, Greg, maybe we can go over how people can reach out and get in contact if they have any other questions. You already, of course, mentioned that on the site, right? They can
yeah.
contact via the
Mhm.
sales team to reach out for some customized integrations and for more information on the platform. But yeah, if you maybe have some other contact information or closing statements, maybe go ahead.
What I would like to add is that we are in the era of AI where people are still struggling to understand how can they actually use AI uh, in their organizations. Small, medium, or large companies I basically think that if you don't get started, you will never really understand how to use AI.
Mhm.
But we see how it has helped our organization a lot. Everything is going to shift. It's going to shift from people basically clicking in different platform, clicking in Outlook, clicking in Salesforce or wherever. It's going to shift to where you don't click anymore. You will basically go into a chat interface. If you need any work to get done, ask your chat. And your chat automatically knows all the or everything that you have in your tech stack, all the tools that you need, and it's going to give that to you right away, right?
And people will be able to even also just they'll speak to the system, right? And because of the models, they'll actually be able to pick up that language and right away use that prompt to then query the system.
Yeah, that is basically one of those things that I didn't show earlier, right? So if I was to show that quickly, just give me a minute,
Yeah.
right? So instead of you taking time to start, writing, you can just you can speak instead, right? So let me go quickly. If you can see my screen, not yet, right? So I go
Okay,
back
we
here.
can see.
Okay, cool. Uh, Close this one. Okay, so I go back to the interface again, right? So instead of me wasting time or wherever, I can just say, can you help me look into this document? So there you go, right?
Mm.
It's just speech to text, right? So if you don't want to waste time writing, you prefer talking, then
And
see,
some people with two fingers, right, on the keyboard, they maybe need to write. They need to ask a long prompt. I mean, this is gonna take what, right? 5 seconds versus maybe for some people a minute to type out. That's
yeah,
another way to speed it up.
yeah, that's right. I agree. So yeah, imagine you are able to do this. Like if you want to create a quote in your ERP system, you can just like, how can you help me create a quote instead of saying the ERP system, the AI automatically already know your ERP system, right? You just ask it, how can you help me create a quote, right? And it goes in the background, create a quote. It could possibly ask you more questions like, what is the name of the customer? Like what is the currency, or what is the valid date of the quote, those type of things. But and then you can also respond back in
Mm.
natural language, by also speaking to the system.
I mean, it's like the best assistant, right? They already know what you want before you even have to tell them, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, that is what I can add from my side. Of course, there are like other things that we could, dig into. I will probably say we will leave that for a different webinar. In January, we will be having webinars as well that will touch on these topics that we just discussed now. Right, so I think the next webinar is planned for mid of January. We have about two webinars in January as well. Uh, and if anyone wants to join the webinar, you think is valuable, you want to automate your workflows, you want to move your company forward with AI and increase productivity, yeah, I think that would be definitely a webinar for you to see that.
Good, good. Otherwise, right, people can reach out to you on LinkedIn if they want.
Yes.
In the chat, someone from our team can also drop, the Discord contact, any of our other contact information, or if we, or potentially if we could bring it up. But otherwise, yeah, they can reach out to you LinkedIn, ask any questions, and yeah, I think that about concludes it. Um, yeah, there we go. We have in the chat some links to the community, so feel free to join that. And you can ask any questions, go through the existing channels. You can request features also after you sign up if you see something missing or something that you would like. And yeah, anything else you'd like to say, Greg?
Nothing to add. Looking forward to the next webinar to show people what else you can do.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so I think with that, that's everything. So appreciate everybody for joining. Thanks for taking the time, and yeah, and until next time then.
Thank
Okay,
you,
thanks,
Dominic.
Greg.
Yeah, you have a good day.
You too. All right, take care.